I think the criticism, I mean, there's things, the criticism of the bill, it just strikes me as obtuse and hyperbole in a lot of ways. So when the bill was described as it was going through the process as the worst bill ever, or Armageddon, or $1,000 benefit to a constituent of mine as crumbs, it's just hyperbole, and I think the hyperbole is easy to dismiss. It just sounds like bumper stickers that are really not that well thought out. Mr. Model, I'd like to go to you because in your testimony, you talked specifically, number one, you represent a lot of people who are in my constituency, in and around. I represent a lot of people like you and your family. That is first, second, third, fourth generation companies who started something and now they're out in suburban Chicago and they've got employees and so forth. They're making things all through these industrial parks, all around the airport and so forth. But what you said, what was interesting in your written testimony, was your entire book of business in 2017 has now been your whole experience for 2018. Can you describe that? That tells me a lot, notwithstanding the bumper stickers. What's going on?
Yeah, thank you, Congressman. I think, it's the demand picture that we're seeing here. And so my business has booked as many orders, as much revenue. We're only in the beginning of the second quarter. We've booked as much revenue as we did in the entire last year.
Say that one more time.
We've booked as much revenue up at the second quarter of this year as we did in the entire prior year.
And say it a third time, brother. Just preach
as
that.
much revenue we've already booked as we did in the entire prior year.
Okay, so we know what that means for your family, right? Nothing wrong, it's still America, nothing wrong with making money. What does that mean for the employees of Atlas? How does this translate for them?
Well, it's already started to benefit them. Last year we increased our 401k match. We now match 100% of the first 3% of employees' contributions. That was a beginning step. We gave a bonus at the end of last year. But I think the bigger picture, the long-term picture, is the wage growth. We're in a skilled workforce shortage here, and other people talked about the aging workforce. I am desperate to not only keep the employees that I have, which means I need to pay them more so the next manufacturer doesn't cherry pick them and steal them. I also need to raise wages to hire good people. So I see nothing but benefits for the worker. A healthy employer, it leads to a healthy job for the employee. And if my company in the years past when we were struggling, we couldn't afford to do those things. Now we can, now we're reinvesting.
Thanks, Mr. Model. I yield back.